It's the best of times. It's the worst of times. And it's the most outlandish of times.
It's the home of the biggest beaver.
It's the season finale of Half Mile of Hell. A look back at the 2005 World Professional Chuckwagon Association's Summer Tour. Don't miss this all-access, no-holds-barred, behind-the-scenes look at the wagon life. Pack up and hit the road. Ride hard and play harder. Watch your back and don't give an inch. And whatever you do, don't make a mistake. Because you're about to ride the Half Mile of Hell. The chuckwagon. Back in the days of the cattle drives, it was the cowboy's portable kitchen, the vehicle that carried the food and supplies to feed a hungry crew on the open range. The story goes that the drivers of these wagons, maybe even the cooks themselves, decided to have a race. The challenge was to pack up the kitchen as quickly as possible and race to the nearest saloon. The Calgary Stampede takes credit for holding the first organized version of these races over 80 years ago. Since that time, the sport has flourished, particularly in Alberta. For many, it's a strong family tradition that continues from generation to generation. Preseason finds the drivers and outriders at home on the farm, training horses and preparing for the busy summer ahead.
It's a hectic year. We wagon race for about 3 months, and then you wish for 3 months you had a week off, and then you wish for 9 months you were wagon racing again.
Wagon families like the Sutherlands can own over 80 head of horses. It's a serious investment.
It's really our livelihood, so we really have to take it seriously. We have to manage it, like a business.
There's good money to be made during a season, but the competition has become extremely tight. Victory is often decided by tenths of a second, so assembling the ideal quartet of horses can take a lot of experimentation.
Sometimes you're out there and you're thinking these horses are going slower or faster than they really are. It's just a handheld, common GPS. You can buy them anywhere. It'll tell us the maximum speed. It'll tell me the current speed. Of course, it records average speed and odometer. Okay.
They practice throughout the spring, each team with their own unique strategies. But the real test of how well they've prepared will come in June, when it's time to hit the road. Between June 1st and the end of August, the drivers race every weekend at events scattered across Saskatchewan, Alberta, and British Columbia. 36 drivers, their families, barn hands, outriders, and over 700 horses reunite on the road like gypsies.
Most of us are born and raised to do this, and it's basically all we know and breathe and love, So, sure, the money's nice. Everyone likes money, but, it's the horses and the people and just the friendship that we've all created over the years.
Well, it's a huge family. I've literally been away for 5 years, gone. And when we pulled into Grand Prairie this spring, and within 5 minutes, it was like you were never gone.
Some families run 4 generations deep in the sport, and the sons still follow in their father's footsteps.
Hey, Randy, how's it going?
Hey, Randy.
Hi, Shelley.
Hey, Shelly.
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
Hey, Sean, how's
Not too bad.
it going? Not too bad.
Oh, whose barn is that over there?
Ooh, Kelly the King with the feather.
Yeah?
And this is Marcus with no feathers. And this is Lemon Gilbert over there.
Yep. Hey, Lane.
That's awesome. I mean, not everybody can say they go to work and take their trailer and their kids with them and get to spend the whole summer with them. Pretty lucky.
Can I get through here for a minute, please? Lift straight up. Lift up, lift. Good job. Oh. Say Happy Father's Day now.
Oh, cool. I love it.
Hey.
How's it going, partner?
Good. We'll see you later, Smoking Arm.
You betcha.
It's pretty hard for a sport not to get in your blood when you literally grow up inside of it. The chuckwagon life is a world full of colorful characters, and they don't get any more colorful than a wild young outrider who lives in a bus.
Well, we travel a lot. I mean, you gotta have a place to stay, so that's why we have tour buses. You know, to live in. They're nice to live in. I don't have a home, so everybody asks where you're from. I'm like, well, the road. You know, I'm 28 years old. I mean, I never had a job. I've always worked on horses and then outroad. You know, so it gives me a little bit more of a free spirit. I don't have a schedule, you know, so it's kind of fly by the seat of my pants right now, anyway, till I grow up a little bit. Shut her down, but I can't see that happening anytime soon. Oh, Zipper, he's a whippet. He's 7 years old now. I just like the look of them hounds. And they're such sweet dogs, so he's been cool. He's been on the road 7 years. He's flown, he's had vet bills. He's a character. He gets into trouble, but he listens really good. I don't have to put a collar on him or a leash or nothing. He's right there. He's a cool dude.
The main character of our camp, I guess, would be Rio King, and you probably get that answer from everybody, but I grew up with him, and he's never changed since he was 2 years old. You know, he used to run around naked in the mud, and he's just a tough, wild kid.
Well, Rio's a different kind of cat. He's pretty outgoing. He likes to have fun, and kind of a ladies' man. They seem to like him quite a bit.
That's your hotel room. Let's go.
We're in Beaver Lodge, close to Grand Prairie, I guess, would be the next biggest center. And it's the home of the biggest beaver, you know? And it's actually a beaver, too. Come on. It's the world's largest beaver. I think I can handle this beaver. So for all you guys that don't get any beaver, come here and you get a lot of beaver all at once. Beaver Lodge.
There's no doubt he's a free spirit, but make no mistake, Rio King is one of the top horsemen in the business. Dedicated and loyal, he's often the first call when drivers go looking for an outrider. The days on the road can get pretty long, and with lots of time to kill before the racing each night, idle minds tend to wander. With racing in the blood, it seems there's a constant need for speed. And then there's golf, a quiet, serene sport many drivers and outriders have taken a shine to. On the surface, it looks like quite a departure from the wagon life, but a cowboy can always find a way to liven things up.
Right there.
judge cover. See the resemblance?
Shit, you're all right. Oh, I'm not playing that one. I didn't make the ladies tee off, boss, so sorry about that.
During a long summer on the road, there's no trouble finding ways to have fun and play in the sun. But when it's time to go to work and the weather turns ugly, this business can get downright deadly. Between the races, it's a big job maintaining a chuckwagon team. And when the weather gets nasty, it's even more work.
I think it adds 2 more hours of chores on every time it rains or mud, and you got to clean the wagon, and you got to clean horses. It just brings a lot of extra work, and makes you want to wish you'd done an indoor sport.
Sometimes the weather beats up a driver, even before he gets into camp.
We pulled in, and I made a run for my designated area, and we made it about a third of the way there. So then we had to sit, find a tractor, and then find a chain, and then get pulled into the area to get the liner set in right.
Getting escorted into the fairgrounds can become an annoying but necessary routine.
Getting sick of getting pulled into this check.
Bad weather also creates concern with track conditions. Throughout the season, drivers take turns filling the role of race director, and part of that job is to ensure their track is safe for racing. With a narrow window between events, sometimes there's less than 24 hours to recondition a track, hammered by the rain. It can be a cruel déjà vu when the same scenario replays itself at the next event.
Well, when we pulled in, it was good, but shortly before the races, we got a tremendous amount of rain in a very short period of time. My guess, it had to drop a couple inches in probably an hour. I mean, the parking lot was absolutely just flooded. I think the track was definitely an issue. It seemed very, very slick.
This is a dangerous barrel right here.
If the horses can't stand up, I mean, you're putting them in danger, and we can't do that.
Safety is always the deciding factor that determines if a track is fit to run on. Sometimes Mother Nature just can't be beaten, and a day of racing has to be canceled.
It's some pretty cool tracks.
Horn sound, and they are off in a hurry. Good start for all 3 wagon outfits. Outriders load their stove, barrels rock. Outriders.
Once the horn sounds, there's no stopping these supercharged thoroughbreds from throwing themselves at the track.
Charging around the barrels, you get a literal feeling for the term horsepower. You feel the wagon surge, in some cases possibly come off the ground, you know. When them horses are in tune and they're working together and you got your good ones on and they're just smoking, it's an awesome feeling.
Here comes Mark Sutherland from the outside. Troy Dorchester is going to steal the rail away from his neighbors. Buddy Bensmiller, the Newberry Rocket, about to fire at the finish line.
You're focused, though. You know, you don't ever get out of focus of what you're doing and what you're driving and what you're trying to accomplish on the racetrack. And, you know, as soon as you do that, things start going how you don't want them to.
You know, it's not safe out there, but, you know, neither's any sport. There's things that happen, and what can you do?
You know, if it's your time, and I don't really try to think about it that much.
I don't think you can dwell on that kind of stuff, or you probably don't want to be a wagon driver.
The outriders must cope with their own dangers. It takes a lot of nerve to race right in the thick of the wagons with nothing but a horse and your split-second decisions to keep you from harm.
Horse threw his head up, broke my nose, and bled all the way around the track.
Can't think about it. You just can't. I mean, I hope he's going to be all right. I think he will be. You know, we'll worry about that stuff after the races are over.
Many of these young cowboys will eventually become drivers, but not before paying their dues in full.
Can't think about it. You just can't. I mean, I hope he's going to be all right. I think he will be. You know, we'll worry about that stuff after the races are over.
No matter the role, there's danger everywhere, and errors in this game can bring horrifying consequences. As long as they survive, wild horses won't keep these cowboys from coming back and doing what they love.
Oh, we've had some old injuries, some separated shoulders, horses jerking you around and pulling on your shoulders and stuff. It definitely takes its toll. Lots of old pains show up that you never thought you had when you were younger. You're 10 foot tall and bulletproof back then, but once you hit the 45, 50 range, they start aching and, oh, like that one right there.
For a battered veteran, massage therapy is the way to release tensions. But for the younger generation, the ideal medicine for relaxing still comes in a bottle.
What do you got?
After a long and difficult day at the office, a young cowboy needs to find a way to blow off some steam. There's no hiding it. The young guys love to party, but sometimes they get a little carried away, and not everyone appreciates their zest for life.
Did you get a punch in?
No.
Oh, he laced you before you knew it was coming, or?
Yeah.
Did you do that tough, or just got everybody off guard?
Big son of a bitch.
Oh, what started them?
Nothing really. I think he's just looking for a fight.
Battle scars can be earned from a night on the town as easily as a day on the track.
It's supposed to be broken on the cheek right in here. So I guess all they can do is put a little plastic in or a couple plates.
He hit me once and went like this. He hit me again and went like that. I said, is that all you got?
I got hit in the back of the head with a shovel last night at the bar.
The morning after usually brings a full dose of reality.
Come on, Grasshopper, you're on TV. Get up, Grasshopper. Come on, Grasshopper, get up. Come on, Grasshopper, let's go play and ride some horses.
Do you want an outrider tonight? Because you better leave me alone.
Tonight, you better be this afternoon. Come on,
or
Grasshopper.
for the rest of the summer?
Come on, Grasshopper, get up.
I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Yeah, Texas 10 minutes maybe, not in New York 10 minutes.
Horses won't wait for a hangover to mellow. The wagon life is dictated by the routine of their care.
You start thinking about it as soon as you open your eyes. You get up and you do your normal routine. And these horses, they get top-of-the-line feed. They're reshod every 4 to 5 weeks, so their feet always stay good. I mean, that's number one.
You're always taking care of horses. They come first, unfortunately, over girlfriends or family or anything.
Everybody respects the animal more and more, and you have to in this sport, or, you know, we'll be shut down.
Like Olympic athletes, these animals must be kept in tip-top condition, and random drug testing ensures that the horses are clean.
So it's a random draw. We do a draw before the season starts. We'll pick a show, a horse, a barrel, and a heat. And then when the draw is set just before the show starts, we'll fill in the blanks as to what horse, what driver, what barrel, and what heat.
I just happened to be one of the 3 guys tonight. Coincidentally, Dad was as well. It keeps the guys honest, the testing, and I'm all for it. I think they should test 4 guys every night or 10 guys every night. I have no problem with testing.
The program is all set up by the WPCA, and so basically they're ensuring that there's no performance-enhancing drugs used in the chuckwagon horses.
You know, we spend probably 16, 17 hours a day with these horses, you know, and we baby them as much as we possibly can. And, you know, if they're not right, then, you know, it comes back on us. You know, we want them to perform as well as they possibly can, and if they're not cared for, they're not going to.
Without strong, healthy animals, a chuckwagon team would be out of business, and the dreams that brought these cowboys to the track would be out of reach. When the season ends, they'll have covered over 5,000 kilometers. They'll pack up and go home and start rebuilding for next year. And one day, next June, it'll be time to get together again, to roll out the wagons, pick up the reins, and wait for the sound of the horn.